What's going on, guys? This your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video, and it looked like ESPN just found themselves in a heap of trouble at the Carolyn Peck backtracks what she said about Caitlin Clark. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. And I hope everybody is having a great day today. And pretty much it's crazy, dog. Before we get into this Carolyn Peck story, I want to share you guys a little theory of mine, the reasoning behind this Carolyn Peck story. So if you guys didn't know Carolyn Peck, right, she used to be the former coach of none other than Stephanie White when she played for Purdue. Now, we also know that Stephanie White currently works for ESPN part-time when she's not coaching the Indiana Fever basketball team. Now, we know Stephanie White is an old guard type coach. Stephanie White pretty much like to do things the old way. And Caitlin Clark is a newer player, new age player. She plays ball dominant type point guard. And we know Caitlin Clark loves to run a read and react offense. And Stephanie White, she's really not a fan of the read and react. She's like this motion offense is what we've been seeing her run pretty much all season. Well, now since DeWanna Bonner been gone and Caitlin Clark been out, they're still running a motion offense. They're just running a motion offense in sets. So instead of them just pass, they're running it in the sets, then pass. Kind of like disguising it like she's not running a motion offense, but she really still is. But I say that to say this. Now, if she want to push a certain agenda, why not have one of your good friends, pretty much your coworker, former coach, push it for you? I don't see Caitlin Clark coming back and being elusive and electrifying how she was first half of the season. I believe as long as they're running this motion offense, she can disguise it in sets all she wants. Caitlin Clark is going to struggle. It's just my theory. I believe when she come back, she might have one or two games where she's just electrifying, and after that, it's going to be back to what we're seeing, and that was her struggling from three, her struggling to find her shot. It's just unfortunate, but it's not Caitlin Clark. It's the system that she's in. It's the system that Stephanie White actually put her in. The reason why we're not seeing Caitlin Clark be the Caitlin Clark we all love to see. Now, that's just my theory, and pretty much Carolyn Peck is pushing this agenda for Stephanie White, and it's just crazy, but that's just my theory. Now, we all know Carolyn Peck actually said this the other day on ESPN, and this, my friends, is kind of what got her in the hot water. Now, with this segment here, this segment was actually 3 minutes long. This is only the tail end of the segment here with Carolyn Peck, but let's check out what she had to say.
You were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row, a 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. And both of those games without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons. And Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind. Right. Aaliyah Boston. I talked to Stephanie White before the game. She said in year one, Aaliyah Boston.
Right there. She talked to Stephanie White before the game, which let me know this was either a personal conversation that she just leaked out, or Stephanie White told her to come on air and say what she said to the world on the 4th of July. Really, no, it was the 3rd. I think this came out on the 3rd. Yeah, on the 3rd.
Boston was back to the basket. Year 2, two-man game. Year 3, they're using her as a decision maker. And so when you have a point guard like Kelsey Mitchell and Ari McDonald making plays on the perimeter and a post like Aaliyah Boston, I'm going to tell you, Indiana, they are a threat, and specifically on the defensive end. Stephanie is so pleased with the intensity that they're bringing defensively with their length, their switches. I mean, they've wreaked havoc on their last 2 opponents.
Now, that was the clip there, man. They had a lot of people scratching their head, bro. For her to say that they're more dangerous without Caitlin Clark is, yeah, bro. Which leads us to this. So this was released early this morning right here from Carolyn Peck. Instead, Carolyn Peck is now backtracking after her take that the Fever are more dangerous without Kayla Clark. Went on to say this: I think Indiana is even more dangerous when Kayla Clark doesn't play. Now that's the clip we just heard there. Now this is what was said on Twitter this morning. She stated, as a coach, if you have ever prepared scouting reports, scout the Fever with or without Kayla Clark, what do you have to talk? I mean, what do you have to take away in both scenarios? They are different. One is not easier than the other, just different. There is a lot of talent on the team. I did not say Kayla Clark is not valuable. She's a great player for those who only see Caitlin. I was complimenting the rest of the team. The Fever have several weapons. Yes, they lost last night, but they have lost games with her. Respect to the whole team, Indiana. So, Carolyn Peck is definitely not a Caitlin Clark supporter. Definitely not a Caitlin Clark supporter. If it ever was to throw Caitlin under the bus but try to be nice at the same time, that's what this is. That's what this is. This is a throw to Caitlin under the bus. Let's try to be nice at the same time, bro. This is crazy to me that she was even tweet this out. Well, those what she say? I'm not saying Caitlin is invaluable, but for those who only see Caitlin, for her to just throw that in there and kind of like only see Caitlin, basically call out Caitlin Clark fans, not right, bro. As an ESPN reporter, and it's crazy to me. Once again, go back to my theory. I think this is just my theory. I think that Stephanie White is trying to take the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hands, bro. They don't want Caitlin Clark to have the ball, bro. Because I bet you any amount of money when Caitlin comes back, they're going to be Caitlin. See, our system do work. Pass the ball. You don't need to be ball dominant all the time. We was winning games without you having the ball. That's what Stephanie White's going to tell Caitlin. I almost 80% guarantee it that they're going to take the ball out of Caitlin's hands. Hence, it's going to make her play bad again, bro. Look, the Caitlin Clark we're seeing here, this is not the Caitlin Clark we're normally seeing. Caitlin Clark cannot get into rhythm in this Stephanie White system. Granted, they're winning basketball games. Granted, Caitlin Clark had a couple games where she was explosive. But at the end of the day, overall, this is a bad season for Caitlin Clark. Now, once again, I got a theory to why Caitlin Clark is steady getting hurt. Now, we all know during this offseason, what did Caitlin Clark do? What was Caitlin Clark's main thing to do? Put on what? Muscle. And what do muscle do? Create more mass. Muscle, adding muscle quickly, fast like that spells disaster. Guys, Caitlin Clark should have gradually added more muscle. She quickly, in a hurry, put her body through a lot of stress and applying all that muscle in a short period of time. Hence why her body cannot regulate the muscle from fat right now. Hence why she's steady getting hurt, bro. Yes. That's why she's steady getting hurt, bro. She put too much muscle on too freaking fast. Look it up. Guys, get down in the comment section. Let me know y'all thoughts about this. Keep them bells on, man. And always remember, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, bro. Peace out.